Hi guys, and welcome to another Instant Impact webinar. In case you don't know, if this is your first time, we are the UK's leading graduate recruitment company, and we specialise in placing top quality grads in paid internships and roles in UK SMEs. So this webinar is going to be all about the cover letter and kind of the problems you might face and such. So we've talked a bit about the CV before, and now we're moving on to this. So with me today is my colleague Alice, and she's going to talk a little bit about her experience as a recruitment consultant and the more specific things she recommends for cover letters. But before we do that, I'm going to run through some kind of vague advice, which hopefully will come in handy for everyone. So, whilst the CV is kind of all about facts, the cover letter is really about showing that you're invested in a role, why you're suited to it, and personalizing the application a little. So it's really a chance to show off yourself a bit. And also, your writing and communication style and things like that. So quite a common question about it might be, how formal should you make the cover letter? And the answer to that is really that you can never truly know the reader's personality. So although you can go on their website and probably find things written about them and the company, I'd say it's always better to overestimate the formality. So to go a bit more formal than informal on this. So once you've kind of considered that, how long should it be? Another kind of general rule. You should never make it longer than a page of A4. If you do more than that, an employer's less likely to read it, and you're also more likely to start kind of rambling and waffling or repeating yourself. And this is something you really want to avoid. So you might give pointless information or just give the same information again and again. So yeah, stick to a page. It's concise enough that you kind of get yourself over there, but it's not too short. And if you're an employer scrolling through all these cover letters, it looks appealing, it's nice, it's neat to have it there on one page. So going on that, how do you start? Well, you should always try to find the contact name of the person you're writing. So if a specific to this specific company, so you can really personalize these. And then what do you have to offer? So how do your skills match those that were required in the job description? And for this, you should give evidence of these claims. And then you've kind of done all that, fleshed it out, you're coming to the end of the cover letter. So things to do here are to indicate a desire for an interview. So really show that you're interested in that. And if you're going on holiday or something like that, mention specific dates you can't do, because you don't want to waste anyone's time. Give them this information up front, and sign off by kind of, thanking them and saying that you look forward to hearing from them. It's just an easy, good sign off. So if you do that, that should kind of be 4 to 5 paragraphs in a nice clean layout, no crazy fonts or anything like that. So recapping that before I hand you over to Alice, the kind of mistakes that people often make here are going on to a second page, rambling, simply paraphrasing their CV, and going too generic, or going a bit gimmicky, like with that what I said about it's important to have a nice clean layout. So if you kind of remember all those things, you should be in good stead. And now Alice is going to take you through some more specific things that she's noticed as a recruitment consultant, having seen a lot of cover letters and really knowing what appeals. So I'm just going to send you over.
Great, thanks, Charlie. I'm Alice. I'm a recruitment consultant at Instant Impact, and I have some CV cover letter do's and don'ts from experience of looking at cover letters from candidates. So as Charlie said, the facts should be left to your CV. The cover letter is just a great opportunity to let your personality show, and a bit more about what you're actually like and how you'd fit into a business. in the cover letter, it's a great opportunity for you to talk to what else you can bring to the company outside the role that you would be taking on. So examples of where you've added extra value, whether that be at university or in previous work experience, is always good to include. This could be kind of helping organise social events for a past company you've worked for, or getting involved in kind of extracurricular activities at uni, as well as kind of talking about these extracurricular activities at uni. That's great, but you need to remember not to ramble or over egg these. So if you have been captain of a football team or a sports team at university, that's great, but kind of try and avoid the use of buzzwords or kind of over egg the responsibility you've had. That could come across as patronising to the employer. Also remember, a lot of people get involved in extracurricular activities whilst at uni, and this is your chance to show how you're different. So don't focus too much on things that perhaps other candidates applying for the role might have as well. You will have obviously researched the company you're applying to and know exactly why you want to work there. So this is something you need to put in. Demonstrate that you've gone away and done the research on the firm. You can do this by including any kind of recent projects the company might have worked on, any mentions they've had in any publications. That shows that you're really up to date with company knowledge. Another tip is to be honest. So don't kind of exaggerate your knowledge or your experience in something. This can always come back to hurt you at interview stage. It's better to be honest and say you've had experience in certain areas and not experience in others, but you would like to gain experience in these areas, or that you have a limited amount of knowledge on something, but you'd really like to learn more. That's much better than pretending you have that skill or that knowledge already, and it will avoid you getting caught out at interview stage. Another tip, which is an obvious one, is proofread. So read it over, give it to someone else to read again, make sure there are no mistakes in there. You could write the most fantastic cover letter, but if there's grammatical errors, it really kind of brings away from what you've done, and it really, really gives your application, it makes it look very negative in comparison to others that perhaps might not be as good, but do not have any mistakes. So make sure you proofread before you send this off. Another tip with the cover letter is you don't have to write one unless you're told, and I wouldn't recommend writing one unless required. This just gives you more opportunity to perhaps make that mistake and bring away from your application. If a cover letter isn't required, it's better to just send over a really concise CV, and then that just minimises that opportunity for you to make any more errors in your application. A final tip is don't be afraid to add a call to action at the end of your cover letter. Quite often with SMEs, they might not have a cut-off date for applications or a date in which you should expect to hear back from the employer. I think it shows that you're really keen and confident in your application to add at the end. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll be chasing up my application in 2 weeks' time if I haven't heard back. Just shows that you're really confident and you're really keen on the role, and that you're really interested in your application. And I think it makes you look like a really positive, enthusiastic candidate, something not to be afraid of. They're my main do's and don'ts with the cover letter from what I've seen as a recruiter. So I hope those tips are really helpful for you, and I'll pass you back over to Charlie.
Great. So thanks very much, Alice, for those. Some really useful do's and don'ts there. Lots of things to take away from that. So thanks very much to the viewers as well. And I hope you managed to maybe answer some questions you had there, and some things you might not have thought about before. If you do have any further questions or anything like that, you can visit our YouTube channel or our blog on our website, which is instant-impact.com. There's quite a lot of careers advice and stuff there. Or if there's something more specific, feel free to email us at webinars@instant-impact.com, and we can answer any specific questions you may have. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and there'll be lots more webinars with kind of tips and tricks for the job hunt coming up soon. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.